Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on May 1st, 2023. If you'd like to support my game Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball Lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, so with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see I have 5 colors on my game card. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. These represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage, find out what those 5 white numbers were. And they were the 16, 53, 54, 57, and 65. The Powerball number was 8, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so you can see I put those numbers at the top of this list. Again, there were the 16, 53, 54, 57, and 65. So I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see with this game card, this is for April 29th, so I need to update it to May 1st. But before I do, I need the colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 16 was green, the 53 was purple, the 54 was green, the 57 was blue, and the 65 was purple. So again, the 16 and the 54 were both green. The 53 and the 65 were both purple. And the 57 was blue. Okay, so 3 out of the 5 colors came up. And now I'm going to make this 243 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 3 color combination has now come up 120 times. Okay, so you can see that a 3 color combination comes up the most. So what that means to me is that 2 colors are not coming up the most. And that's what I want to focus on here. Okay, so again, the object of the game is to eliminate groups of numbers. So the strategy here is try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up and eliminate those group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I do want to point out that all 5 colors do come up. It's come up 17 times out of 243 drawings. So it comes up, but it's very rare. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to update my game card. So I'll get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers in the red area over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'll start with the 16, 53, 54, 65, and 57. The next line down is the 2, the 15, the 30, 35, and 49. And the last line is the 19, the 21, the 55, 66, and 68. Okay, so none of those numbers repeated, so there should be 15 numbers on my game card, so I'll just count to make sure. So I got 4, 2 are 6, 4 are 10, and 5 are 15. So I'm going to put 15 up here. This tells me of how many colors I have on the game card. Okay, so moving on to the orange. I'll transfer these 20 numbers over, so I'll start with the 17, the 36, the 47, 63, and 68. And you can see the 68's already taken. Okay, so the next line down is the 4, the 11, the 21 is taken. So the 38 and the 64. And the next line down is the 23, the 25, the 35 is taken. And the 63 and 64 are taken as well. Okay, so the last line is the 1, the 33, the 34, the 56, and 59. So again, I'm going to make these orange, and now I'm going to count how many I have. So I got 3 and 5 are 8, 1's 9, 1's 10, and 5 are 15. So I got 15 orange numbers as well. Okay, so now I move on to the green, then the blue, and whatever's left over is purple. But you can see I already did the game card for May 1st, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Now here's my game card for May 1st, 2023. 23. So again, there was 15 red numbers, 15 orange, turned out to be 15 green, 14 blue, and 10 purple numbers. Okay, so what's the big deal about this? Okay, so the big deal is that I found a consistency within the lottery. Okay, so when I think about the lottery, I think of nothing but chaos. Okay, so to find any kind of consistency in there, I think is a big first step here. Okay, and the consistency is that I get double-digit numbers per color for just about every single drawing. Okay, once in a while the blue might go to a 9 or the purple might go to a 9, but it's very rare. But most of the time I get double-digit numbers per color. Okay, so when you have consistency, then things can get predictable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to correctly predict what color group will not be coming up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, to help give me a clue, is I like to pick what I think is going to come up next, either odds or evens for the majority of numbers. Okay, that's what I usually do. But what I noticed on here is that a green color has come up in the last 5 drawings. And when that happens, it usually doesn't go 6. Okay, it's a high probability that it doesn't go 6. Okay, so I'm going to say that no green numbers are going to come up. Okay, so I'm going to block out these green numbers, because I don't believe that they are going to come up. Okay, so can a green number come up? Absolutely it can, right? Anything could happen. Let me just get this done here. Yeah, so anything could happen, right? So this is where the betting comes in. Okay, so I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket worth $3, and that's with the power play. So basically I'm betting $3 that none of these green numbers will come up in this drawing coming up. Okay, so if I'm correct and none of these green numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself, giving myself better odds of winning some kind of prize with the Powerball Lottery. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next strategy. This is called my individual numbers. Okay, so I keep all the individual numbers at the top here. Okay, so over here to the left are the winning numbers that just came up. Again, the 16, 53, 54, 57, and 65. So what I did here with the individual numbers is I took all 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so here's group number 1. Holds the numbers 1 through 9, and this is the only group with 9 numbers, where the other 6 have 10 numbers to it. Okay, so this tells me that I hit 3 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so in the last drawing, 4 of these groups did not have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to correctly guess what group will not have the winning Powerball number to it, and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how this works, this goes hand in hand with the color code here. Okay, so I want to point out the 20s. And I want to point out these 3 red marks right here. Okay, so before that, the red mark was down here. And as I was doing my videos, I was going through this and I was saying, hey, I don't see a red mark. I think a red mark is going to come up here pretty soon. And finally it hit with the 23. Okay, so this is how I use the game. I look for a color that hasn't come up in a while and then assume that it's going to come up here pretty soon. Okay, so, I wanted to know how many drawings it's been since this red mark to this red mark. Okay, so what I did is I divided these into 5 different drawings. Okay, and that way it's just easier for me to count. So I could look at this and say it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33, and 2 more. It's been 35 drawings. Okay, so it's easy for me to count quicker that way. Okay, but since I did divide this into 5 drawings like this, I noticed that the average is 4 drawings, just like over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits out of 5 drawings. Okay, that seems to be the average. Okay, so when I see something that's above average, and I got this one correct right here, I said, hey, there's 5 hits, it's above average, I got 1 more drawing to go, I don't think there's going to be a hit here, and I was correct, and I eliminated all those numbers and got that one correct. Okay, so We're at the third out of 5 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. And again, I want to look for something that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so here with the numbers 1 through 9, you can see that an orange number hasn't come up in a while. So it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27. We're going on 30 drawings here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card and I'm going to look at the numbers of 1 through 9 and see if there's any orange numbers on them. Okay, so I got the 1 and the 4 that are orange. Okay, so maybe one of these two numbers, or even both of them, may be coming up in tonight's drawing. Okay, so let me go back. I'm going to reduce this back down again. We'll take a look at the others here. Okay, so here with the 10 through 19. Here's the red, orange, green, blue. Purple's way down here. It's been 5, 10, 15. That's not too impressive, I guess. So we'll move on. Here's the red, orange, green, blue, purple. All 5 colors are pretty close to the top. Okay, so with the 30s, I got red, orange, green, blue, purple. Again, all 5 colors pretty close. Red, orange, green, blue, purple. Red, orange, green, blue, purple. Here's the orange down here, so it's been 5, 10, 15. Getting close to 20 drawings. Let's take a look at the orange for the 60s as well. Okay, so I got the 63 and the 64. Okay, so I got the 1 and the 4 and the 63 and the 64. And as I look at this, you know, I don't see very many orange numbers. Okay, so maybe a bunch of orange numbers are due to come up here. Okay, so let's go back. Again, the overall strategy here is to guess which color group will guess what group will not be coming up. And for me, I'm going to go with 10 through 19 numbers here. And the reason why is because one of these numbers have come up in the last 5 drawings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so again, you know, it's a high probability that it doesn't go 6 for some reason. Okay, so again, can there be another number that comes up through 10th? Absolutely it can, right? But I'm gonna bet that it won't, and I'm going to eliminate the numbers at 10 through 19 off of my game card. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so again, if I'm correct with my guesses here, and none of these blocked out numbers come up, then the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card as a highlighted number. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next strategy. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to divide the Powerball into different groups like this and just take my best shot at each group, and hopefully I'll get it correct. Okay, so I'll give you a visual on how this works. Okay, I call this my group 4 because I basically divided the 69 numbers into 4 different groups. Okay, so the 16 was in red, so I'm going to put a 1 here, and that represents that 16. And then I got the 53, 54, 65, and 57 all in green. And then I had no winning Powerball numbers in the blue area, no winning Powerball numbers in the orange. So I hit 2 out of the 4 colors, and the majority of the numbers are over to the right side here. So I'm going to color this to green. Okay, so that's basically how it works. Okay, so I like to keep track of every 3 drawings, and that way I can put a color to it. Okay, so if this is going to come up with another 0, I'm going to color a light blue like this. If this comes up with a 0, I'll color it a light red. And actually, if this comes up with a hit, I'll color it a dark red as well. Okay, so if there's ever 3 zeros, I color it a dark blue. Okay, so there's 4 choices of colors to choose from of what you think it's going to be. Now, usually, there's always a triple hit. I call this a triple hit. And you can see that, you know, very rarely is there a 0 here. Okay. I mean, maybe it's due for 1, but I'm kind of thinking that there's going to be a hit here. Okay. And again, that 1 and 4 are looking pretty good. You know, it's in the red area. Okay. So I also have group 6, group 8, and group 10 as well. Okay. And I also have a couple of these option cards elsewhere as well. Okay, so I call this Powerball number 2, and I'll give you a visual on this one as well. Okay, so the 16 was green, the 53, 54 was red, 65 was blue, and the 57 was orange. Okay, so I had 2 in the red, 1 in the blue, 1 in the orange, and the 16 was green. So I hit all 4 colors. And the majority of the numbers are over to the left side, so I'm going to keep this 4 red. Okay, so I'm going to color this a light red background because the majority is red. Okay, so again, if there's 2 hits, I color it a light red. And if there's 3 hits, I color it a dark red. Okay, so how many triple hits did I have? I had 2. How many blue marks did I have? I don't see any blue marks, so none. And that's basically how this works. Okay, so again, the strategy is to use this information as best that you can. Okay, but again, the overall strategy is try to guess where 0 is going to pop up so you can eliminate those numbers. Okay, so I also have a Powerball number 3. Okay, so I'll update this as well. Okay, so here's the 16 and the 54 are both in green. Then the 53 is purple. The 57 is orange. And the 65 is red. So I had no winning Powerball numbers in the blue or the yellow. It hit 4 out of the 6 groups. And the majority of the numbers are over here to the right side, so I'm going to color this 4 green. Okay, so this is why I do this like this, so I could have a different perspective. So with this Powerball number 3 right now, I got 1 number at the top, which is, you know, kind of good, you know. And then with Powerball number 2, you can see I have no numbers at the top, which is a lot harder to pick. And then with this Powerball number 1 for this drawing, I got 2 numbers at the top, and this is the biggest advantage, okay? So I'm going to stick with this one because it does have the best advantage here. And I have 7 of these option cards, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to try to predict where 0 is going to pop up. Okay, so I don't really like any of these, so I'll move on. Again, I got 7 of these option cards. Okay, so I really don't like this one as well either, so again, I'm going to move on. Okay, so again, I'm not really feeling anything with this one. Again, not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. Again, this one is, you know, there's 4 color groups and 5 winning Powerball numbers, so this is pretty hard to pick. You know, sometimes I look at this and I say, okay, what color is going to come up? Okay, so what I was looking at here is, you see the single zero, okay, and just staying in this column. Here's another zero, a single zero, and what I mean by that is here's 2 zeros together here. So I like to look for a bunch of single zeros and saying that, hey, I think it's going to double up like right here. Okay, so I'm moving on. I usually like to look for something like this where it's been really, really red, really hot. Again, I'm not really seeing anything. I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Okay, I really didn't see anything, so I'm going to move on to group 6. Okay, so group 6, again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, so I know that one of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so over here, this tells me how many blue marks there's been. So in the last drawing, you can see that there was 3 of them. And with this drawing here, I know that there's going to be at least 1 blue mark. You know, a triple hit comes up a lot. So I'm looking at the red as possibly a triple hit, or the yellow. I am thinking that this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. So I'm kind of liking this purple right here. You can see how hot things have been. And I'm thinking that this is going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I think I'll go for this one. Okay, so I marked this blue, so when I come back and update this, I can look at it and say, hey, I got this correct. None of these purple numbers came up, or one of them came up and burned me. Okay, so I'll go with the 9, 10, 11, 17. Okay, so all those numbers are gone. So the 21, 22, 25, 26, and then this square right here with the 49. So I get rid of the 21, 25, 26, 49, 50, 58, and 59. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so here I think that this is going to have a hit to it. Okay, so I think that one of these yellow numbers are going to come up. So I'm going to move this game card over to the right. Okay, so you can see with this, this is the 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, 16. So the 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, 16, this is those numbers right here. Okay, 18, 20, 24, 60, 68. 60, 68. Okay, so I think that one of these numbers are going to come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate these numbers that correspond with the game card here. Okay, so there's no 3, so I'm going to get rid of this, and the 13, and the 22, and the 29, the 41, 51, 60, the 68 is still alive. So I think that one of these numbers are going to come up. The 68 is the only one left, so I'm going to predict that the 68 is going to come up. Okay, so the 6 and 7 are still here. So I'll get rid of the 49. So I'll get rid of the 10, 12, 16, 18, 24, 60. I get rid of all these. Okay, so I'm sure you're catching on here, so I'll get rid of the 31, the 50, okay, so again, I think that one of these numbers in this line are going to come up. Okay, so I'll mark this one as well. Okay, so there's that 4, so maybe that 4 might be coming up here. Okay, so let's go back. Again, the first thing that I like to do is try to correctly guess what color this is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be green. I think the majority of the numbers will be over on this side. I'm kind of liking this blue on how hot things have been here, so I'm thinking that this is going to be the 0. But I think I'll hold off. I'll move on. And this is why I gave myself so many option cards like this, so I could go through and cherry pick these things and give myself the best opportunity, you know? So looking at this, you know, a 000 does come up. I went through a dry streak here. If there is going to be a 000, it can only be right here. Okay, so I'm moving on. You know, the thing that stands out to me the most here is this green on how hot things have been here. 000 hasn't come up in a long time. Hopefully it's due. I'm going to get rid of these green. So I will get rid of that 1, the 8, 9, 10, 11, 17. Okay, so I am liking that 4 now, so I'm going to go with the 4 as well. So what that means is that you can see the 68's in the blue. So if I say, hey, I think the 0 is going to be here in the blue, I'll look at it and say, oh, the 68's here. I'm going to change my mind because I think the 68's going to come up. Okay, and I did think more even numbers than odd were going to come up. So I do kind of like this 4 and the 68. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the 37, 40, 45, 46, 48, 58. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to move on. Again, I have 7 of these option cards. So here's option card number 5. I am thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Okay, so I don't really like anything here. I don't know, maybe this orange. I'll move on. Okay, so I do kind of like this orange as well. I think I'll go for this one. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 5, 8. I believe those are already gone. 21, 22, 25, 26, I believe are gone. So the 36, 46. Get rid of the 36. And then the 42, 50, 66, 69. So I'll get rid of the 66, 69, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so here's the 69. Get rid of the 37, the 45, the 48. The 8. Okay, so I'll just get caught up here. And now I'm moving on. Okay, so my last option card for group 6. I am thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side. I do have a 000 opportunity here in the red. And I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to try this red. Okay, so the 1, 22, 28. So I'll get rid of the 28. Then the 6, 9, 26, 31. So I'll get rid of the 6. Then the 39, 42, 66, 69. And I'll get rid of the 39. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 6, the 28, the 39, and I'm all caught up. Okay, so moving on. Now I'm all done my group 6, so I'm going to move on to group 8. Again, here I got 3 of these color groups that cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Again, a 000 comes up a lot. So I got one here in the orange. 000 hasn't come up here in a long time. I am kind of thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side. So I am liking this orange. I'll go for it. And I'm going to get rid of the 18 to the 26. So I will get rid of the 20 and the 23. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Again, a 000 comes up a lot, so I got one here, the orange and the pink. But I am thinking that this is going to be a red number. So I think the majority will be on this side. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave this one alone and move on. Okay, so I do have a 000 opportunity here in the pink. And I am thinking that, wow, this is kind of tough because this is all green here, so okay, so I'll leave this one alone and I'm moving on. Okay, so I do have a 000 opportunity here in this green. I do think that this will be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side, so I will go with this green. Unless it knocks out the 4. So I'll go with the 19, 21, 23, 25. So I'll get rid of the 27 and the 33. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. I thought I saw the 30. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so moving on. Again, I have the 000 opportunity here in the green. And sometimes these 000s, they double up. So you can see they doubled up here, but it hasn't doubled up in a long time. I'm thinking it's due. Hopefully it's due. I'm going to get rid of all these green numbers. So I'll get rid of the 32 and the 34, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Oops. Okay, so I'm just going over the possibilities here. So I already got the 68, so that leaves 4 numbers, or actually the 4 as well. So if I go with the 7, and the 57, that would give me 4 numbers, and then I'm down to 54. Okay, so just looking at things. Alright, so I think I'm going to ditch this over here because it's really just not working out. I do like the 4 and the 68. I'm just going to keep on going. Okay, so I have a 000 opportunity here in the red and the turquoise. I am thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I'm kind of liking the red over here. And there's no numbers to get rid of, so I'll move on. Okay, so I got a couple of 000 opportunities here. I am thinking that this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. And then I think I'll go with this turquoise. So I'll get rid of the 10, 22, 36, 38, 44, 46. So I think it was the 38, 56. And the 44. Yeah, okay. And then the 42, 48, 60, 66, I'm pretty sure that all those are gone. They are. Okay, so I'm getting down there. Keep on going. Okay, so I don't have any 000 opportunities here. Kind of thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side. And I'm kind of liking this red to have the 0 to it. But that will get rid of the 4, so I really don't like that. So moving on. Okay, I do have a 000 here with the red and the orange. I am thinking that this is going to be a green number. I think the majority will be on this side, so I am kind of liking this orange here. But that will get rid of the 68. The red will get rid of the 64, so I don't like either of them, so I'm going to move on to group 10. Okay, so I have 3 option cards here. I think this purple is going to come up. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. And a 000 comes up a lot, and I'm kind of liking this orange here. I'm going to go with the orange. So I'll get rid of the 7, 9, 10, 12, 19, 26. So I guess I will get rid of that 7. Okay, so moving on. Again, I thought there was going to be a hit here in the purple. And there's usually always a 000, so I got one here in the orange, one in the red, and one in the brown. Oh, one in the yellow as well. I am thinking that this is going to be a green number. But I am kind of liking this yellow here. But I don't believe that there's anything left. 1, 3, 5, 7. Everything's gone. So moving on. I am thinking that this is going to be a green number. So I have a 000 opportunity here in the green. And I think I'm going to go with this one. Unless it knocks out the 4 or the 68. Okay, so the 3, 7, 9, 21, 25, 55, 61. So I'll get rid of the 55, 61, and hopefully those 2 numbers do not come up. Okay, so all I have is 3 of these option cards. Then I have an overview of all 3 option cards, and what I look for is a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so you can see that they all pretty hover to the top. Another thing that happens a lot is they double up, like right over here with this brown. So let's check out the blue and the orange. See, this orange hasn't doubled up in a while. So I went with the orange here. I'll go with the orange here as well. And I'll get rid of that 43. And hopefully that 43 does not come up. Okay, so I think all 3 of them are going to miss in the orange area. But I can't take this one because the 68's there. Okay, so I exhausted all my option cards here, so I'm going to move on to the next best one, okay, and that's Powerball number 3, where I have at least one number at the top. Okay, so this is a group 6, so I'm going to go right to group 10, where I have the best odds. Okay, so looking at this here, again, a 000 comes up a lot, so what do I have for an opportunity? So far I'm looking at this pink. See one doubled up right here. Actually, this turquoise has never had a 000. So I think I'll go with that. Okay, the 313 I believe are gone. 37, 47, 55. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 47. And then the 51, 59 are gone. Okay, so moving on. Again, I think this red is going to have a hit to it. Again, some of these triple zeros, they double up. I'm looking at this light blue, thinking that this is going to be another triple zero here, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 11, 22, 27. And there's nothing else to get rid of. Okay, so moving on. Okay, a triple zero. I'm looking at this red. Maybe it's going to double up. Well, that would get rid of the 4, so I don't want that. I don't like any of them, so moving on. Look at the overview, see if there's any 0-3s that's like out of whack. Okay, so they usually hover to the top. This green's a little low, the purple's a little low. All the rest are. So let's take a look at the green and purple. I don't like the green. Okay, I really didn't see anything here, so moving on. Again, I'm looking for a triple zero that hasn't happened in a while. Kind of looking at this orange. Okay, so nothing there, so moving on. Again, this purple hasn't had a triple zero in a while. I do believe that this is going to be a green number, so I do believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. So I am kind of liking this purple. See if the 63 is still there. It is. Okay, so that's it for that. So moving on. I'm sorry, did I ever mark that? Okay, so moving on. I am thinking that this is going to be green numbers, so I think the majority will be on this side. And I'm not really liking that. Let's see if there's any 0-3s out of whack here. Kind of this brown. 0-3 hasn't come up in a while. Let's take a look at these browns. I'm going to go with this brown. Get rid of the 35-53. Again, I think more even numbers are going to come up than odd, so. Okay, so I'm going to go with the brown here as well. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 54 and the 62. Okay, so now I'm really getting down here on 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the reason why I believe in this game is because one time I reduced the numbers down to 10 numbers, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within those 10 numbers. Okay, so I only got 2 numbers correct that day, but I looked at it and said, wow, I gave myself a much better chance of winning a really good prize. Okay, so I got 3 more to go. Again, I'm just going to get rid of these browns. I think there's going to be a 0, 3, so the 38, 46, 56, 64. Okay, so I'm down to 7 numbers now. Okay, so a 3 color combination comes up the most. Okay, so I'm kind of liking the 67 as well. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this is 10C, so I got 3 more of these option cards. Again, a 000 comes up a lot. Okay, didn't really see anything there. I don't see much here either. Okay, so maybe this light blue, the 000's down here. Let me take a look at the overview. Yeah, this 03 hasn't, it's doubled up once right here. Maybe it's due again here in the orange. Well, there's brown over here. It's never doubled up. I think I'll go with the brown instead. So all 3 browns, unless it knocks out one of those numbers. Okay, so the 37, 38, 47, 66, I believe are all gone. Okay, 21, 29, 39, 48, I'm pretty sure are all gone. Okay, so the 44 to the 48 and 61, 62 are all gone. Okay, so I'm going to go to group 6. See if I see anything here. Okay, I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side. Kind of liking this green. Do I have anything from the 36 to the 46? I don't. Kind of liking this green to have a hit. Okay, there's nothing there. I'll check out the overview. Zero 03 hasn't come up in a long time here in the yellow, so let's take a look at the yellows. I can see a 0 here. And that will get rid of the 30. Okay, so I got one more number to get rid of. And I am thinking that the 65 just came up. I think the 57 just came up as well. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on going. See if I can knock out that one last number here. I am thinking that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority will be on this side. Okay, so I don't really like that one. Again, here in the yellow, I can see a 0 being here. I think I'm going to go with this yellow one right here, and I'll get rid of that 60. Oh, I can't do that. I think I'm just going to go with this red, and I'll get rid of that 65. Okay, so that would bring me down to five numbers. Okay, so I like the 4. Actually, the 2, the 4, the 57. Hopefully that 57 comes up again. And then the 67, 68. Okay, so now I need a Powerball number. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Powerball numbers here. Okay, so the 8 just barely came up. Okay, so there's 26 red numbers in the Powerball Lottery. So on this side, the left side, I just divided the numbers in 2. So if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 to 26. Over here, I just divided the numbers into odds and evens. So if you see a red number, that's odds. If you see a black number, that's evens. Okay, so looking at this, okay, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. And over here, I think it's going to be a red number as well. And what I'm thinking is that I didn't really keep track of it, but there is a pattern that it goes like the 25 comes up, then the 3, 6, 8, and then the 25 will come right back up. Okay, that pattern has come up a couple times in the past. And I think I'm going to go for that now. Okay, so I think the 25 is going to come right back up. Okay, so these are the numbers I'm going to go with. Okay, so I think Sherlock Holmes said it the best. When he said it's a matter of deduction. So if, and that's the big word here, if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's go over the odds. The odds of getting the 5 white ball numbers correct, the grand prize and the red ball, the odds of doing that are 1 in 292 million that you're going to get it correct. Okay, my game is mostly geared up for the white balls, okay? That was my goal, but, you know, I love to win the grand prize, of course, okay? So just get the 5 white balls correct. The odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Okay, so another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball. That pays $50,000 plus the power play if you play it. And you can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so I do like to play responsibly. I like to play $3 per drawing. Okay, there's 3 drawings per week. There's 52 weeks in a year. So if I play all drawings throughout the year, I will spend $468 on my game decoding the Powerball. Okay, so in closing, again, I'd like to thank you for watching. You know, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Okay, so again, you can support my page through my Patreon page at patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $60 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.